Today I'm going to be testing the world's most expensive makeup and doing a full face application with it, starting with the Gucci Multi-Use Balm. Look at this beautiful little dainty package. This multi-use balm retails for $68 Canadian, which is $55 US. And I bet you're wondering, what is this? Why is it so damn expensive? And what does it do? It's a clear balm for $68. Don't tell my husband. So they say that you can use this on your lips, on dry skin, on your hand, on your nails, your cuticles, your elbows, your knees. Your knees. Can you imagine using this beautiful little thing on your knees? It's a hydrating, fragrance-free balm. There's nothing really that exciting about it other than the packaging, but gosh darn it, does it look special, doesn't it? So the reason that I got this, other than to put it on my cuticles right now and on my lips to prep my lips for lipstick, is because of the Scott Barnes makeup hack. So when I was talking to the girl at the store about this, she's like, you can even use it under your eyes if you get really dry with your concealer. And I was like, what? Shut the front door. Obviously you can. It's a balm, right? You can use any balm under your eyes, but that's literally the thing that drives me crazy. She probably noticed that my under eyes were looking dry. And so this reminds me a lot of the Scott Barnes makeup hack with the Aquaphor, but like 5 million times more expensive than Aquaphor lip gloss, but also so luxe, so luxe. What I want you to do while you're watching this video is start a comment. There's gonna be chapters at the bottom of this video that labels every single product I'm gonna use. I want you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. and let me know yes if you think this product is worth the money, or no if you definitely don't think it's worth the money, starting with this balm. Okay, let's move on to the world's most expensive foundation. This foundation costs $360 Canadian. It was almost $400 after taxes for me. That's $280 American. What is in this? Okay, there better be crushed diamonds, gold, and like the teardrops of your firstborn child in this package here. Okay, one thing I'm gonna show you is that it comes in this little holder, okay? You can take it out of the holder, and here you have a mirror. You also get this little concealer brush, and then this is foundation, but then if you pop open the top, you get a concealer. That is a kind of a cool feature, and I think that's how they justify the cost of it. This is 2 products in one, basically. They say that this is full coverage, but with a luminous finish. The one thing that I have to tell you about it is that the shade range was terrible at the store. I actually bought it and then I came home, tried it, realized that the shade was completely wrong, drove all the way back to Toronto. I live pretty far from the Holt Renfrew in Toronto, okay? An hour and a half. It was not fun to drive all the way back to exchange it for another color. This color is still too light for me, but the one color up from it was way, way too dark for me. So I don't understand why their shade range is so off. I think it might be because it's a little bit more of a sheer coverage. However, it says that it's full coverage, which is very strange because I'm telling you right now, just from putting it on, there ain't no way in hell this is a full coverage foundation. Is it pretty? Yeah, definitely. But this is not full coverage. This is a medium coverage for sure. One other thing that I can really notice about it is that it has an extremely, extremely strong smell. This is heavily fragranced. I don't know if it's from an actual fragrance or if it's from the ingredients used in here. They say that it's caviar infused. What does that mean? Let's use the little brush that it came with to apply the concealer, and while we do that, watch this TikTok.
The full face of your most expensive makeup. Starting off with foundation, I'm going to use La Prairie. This foundation is $300. With this foundation, a little bit goes a long way, and literally, we do not want to waste any product with this.
That's literally all I could find online. That's it. That tiny little clip, and then she goes on to show the rest of her makeup. But then she didn't bring up this foundation again. So I was like, what is happening? Why hasn't anyone made any content about this? No one's stupid enough to buy something this expensive except for me. I can literally smell this on my skin. It smells like wealth. If I were to describe how an old rich woman would smell, this is how she smells. They told me in the store over and over and over again that this foundation was gorgeous. And I'm like, yeah. You have to say that. Obviously it's $400, but okay, it's gorgeous. Don't worry, there's still time for us to hate it later. Chanel Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. This is an OG. It was the first, I would say, bronzing cream on the market. At least one of the first ones. Before bronzing creams were a thing and we were all using powder bronzers, this came on the market, took the market by storm. The really cool thing about it is that it's a lightweight cream gel face bronzer. Okay, it has like a really velvety matte finish and it gives a gorgeous sun-kissed glow.
The bronzer, the Le Beige. Originally, this was called Soleil de Tan. The first time I was introduced to Soleil de Tan, a young kid, maybe he was 13, he was doing a ballroom dancing competition. He literally needed to look super tan. So I went through the whole entire department store and ended up at Soleil de Tan, and that was how I discovered that this product existed, because it was the only thing that actually could be used, one shade universal, that could allow you to look super tan. We can get that product out on the sponge. This is a mousse and it is creamy, it is rich, it's striking and jumping out at me. I'm like, I need to buy this and start comparing it to all the creams out there. This was the original, one of the best cream bronzing products on the market.
She is not wrong. Honestly, it is one of the best cream bronzing products on the market. I've tried to find a dupe for this forever. I tried the e.l.f. one, which is so reasonably priced, right? It comes in a really tiny little jar. It does a good job as well, but nothing like this. For whatever reason, this product goes on like butter. It really looks like your skin was naturally bronzed in the sun. That's the only way I can describe it. Sometimes powder bronzers, they look a little bit painted on. Do you know what I'm saying? This melts into the skin and the color families really are amazing. She said that it was one universal color. They have since changed that. When it was one universal color, I actually didn't like it that much for me. I loved it for my lighter skinned clients, but for me, it was a little bit too light, actually. It didn't really work for my complexion. It didn't give me enough of a color change. But this one is in the color Soleil Tan Deep Bronze, and it is just stunning. Okay, let's move on to our next product. You guys are never going to believe the absurd cost of this product. What is this, you ask? This is the Valentino Go-Clutch On The Move Perfecting Powder. I get that it's very cute, but the price is insane. This clutch is $290 Canadian, which is $205 American, but it doesn't come with the lipstick. Okay, so when you open this, basically you get this little clutch, you get your mirror, you get your powder. When you open it up, you get your little brush, okay, that you can apply your powder with. And then you get this little lipstick. But the crazy thing about this, even sitting at $290, it does not come with the lipstick. You have to buy the lipstick separately. So this guy is the Valentino Minirosso Striking Lip Color. Now this comes in two finishes, a satin finish and a matte finish. The satin finish one only comes in two colors and they're both reddish. I didn't want that today. The matte finish one only comes in three colors. So the same two red ones and then a nude one. So I just figured if I'm going to invest over $300 on this thing, I want a lipstick that I can use all the time because I want to be able to use this all the time to get my value, right? Girl math. If I use this every day for 300 days, this is only costing me $1 a day. Girl math. But like I said, this thing isn't included. So the fact that this tiny little lipstick is $41 Canadian, $25 American is insane to me. That is outrageous. But regardless, let's try it. Let's see if this powder is as good as it seems. What they're saying here is that this is a 12-hour wear pressed powder. It can be worn alone or on top of foundation as a finishing powder. It has a really creamy formula infused with Valentino's signature Roma Light Complex, which are light reflecting pearls. So again, this is really heavily fragranced. That seems to be the theme amongst prestige products. I think they're really heavily fragranced because it makes them feel more high-end. So far, the powder's okay. I definitely am not falling in love with it in the same way that I fell in love with the Givenchy Prisma Libre. That's my favorite high-end powder ever. But the true test will obviously be from putting it under my eyes. This is so fancy and pretty, and I live such a simple life. I always think like, I'm gonna use this everywhere I go. I'll always have it as a part of my outfit, you know? And then like, where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going to Food Basics, which is like the discount grocery store in Canada, with my kids wearing my Valentino powder lipstick clutch. I'm gonna be buying milk, discount milk with my Valentino. It's happening. Now I bought another really, really fancy lipstick, but we gotta try this. So we'll put this lipstick on for the rest of the application, and then at the end we'll do a different lipstick. So normally I stay away from matte lipsticks. I really am not a fan of a matte lip anymore. I used to love it, but I don't love it anymore. I find it looks way too dry. But this is actually considered a luminous matte, which means that it's matte, but it's non-drying. The only thing that's killing me is my bullet is actually broken. I can't even believe it. This lipstick is divine. The formula is really, really creamy, but it has like a semi-matte finish. I would almost consider this more of a satin finish if I was to guess. It's obviously not glossy, but it's definitely not drying. Is it $41 gorgeous? Yes. Yes, it is. Valentino Brow Trio. This retails for $40 US and $54 Canadian. This is a 3-in-1 longwear liner that has a liquid ink micro liner to fill the eyebrow in, a pencil on one side to shade, and a brow brush to blend and comb. So I have to say, this is so cool. I've never seen anything like this. I was very intrigued when I saw this. It's actually kind of brilliant because I love to sketch in brow hairs, and I usually use glossy brow flick for that. But then I also feel like I need a little bit more pigment from a pencil to fill in like in here. You know what I'm saying? And so this comes with everything. So again, if we're doing girl math, we can kind of validate the cost of that because you're getting essentially 2 products in one plus a spoolie. Obviously a spoolie is super cheap. You can get it on Amazon. You can get disposable ones. So I don't want to count that into the cost. But the fact that you're getting a pencil and you're getting a pen is kind of awesome. Now, how good this pencil is, I don't know. So let's try it for the first time together. So what I like to do with my brows is fill in the outer part of them and then leave the very inside bare. And then if I want to add a little bit more dimension to them, I can go in with hair-like strokes. So that's when you need a little skinny, teeny little pen like this, and you can go in and sketch some tiny little hair strokes. Oh, I don't want to give you my opinion on this because I want you to make your own opinion in the comments. This thing's amazing. Okay, moving on. Ready for this? I literally hate that I love these things. I'm just not rich. I'm just not rich and I need to accept it. Christian Louboutin, the famous red-soled shoe. They have a beauty line that I have been wanting to get my hands on for years. Oh, good Lord. Let's just have a moment of silence for this packaging. Okay, now that we got that out of our system, let me tell you about this. Okay, so you buy your Luxe packaging first. You can pick between black or red. And then in here, you get this little tool that you can pop your palette out. So what does that mean? So in here, you actually pick your eyeshadow palette. If you want to pop it out, you put your little tool in this little hole and you pop it out. Now you can choose which eyeshadow palette you want from the shadows that they have, or you can also choose, I think it's a highlight trio instead. So you buy the palette, okay, the palette is 95 Canadian, $73 USD. And then the shadow itself is another 95 Canadian or $73 USD. So this comes to $200, just under $200 Canadian. It is beautiful. It is really beautiful. If you want just like one palette to love, it's definitely absolutely freaking beautiful. So let's dip into this guy because this guy is a little bit on the lighter side and we can press him in. So the pigment payoff isn't spectacular, but it could be because it is a metallic. Metallics just need to be pressed on like, oh yeah, that's better. That is the nature of the metallic shadow. We gotta press those babies on. Now I'm going to piggyback another color on top of this color. I do that sometimes, so you guys might wanna try it too. I'm actually gonna go in with this pinky tone and piggyback that on it. so that we can get a little bit of a pinky tone. I think it will look pretty, especially with this lipstick. I'm actually gonna dip into this guy now, and I'm gonna put that in my crease to see if I can kind of get that, a little bit of color depth in here, but not too much. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I'm gonna grab a smudge brush and let's get a little bit of depth under the eyes. So why don't we go back into this mid-tone color that I used in my crease, and we can smudge under the eyes. Okay, now this, I gotta say, I am very underwhelmed for the cost. The packaging itself, I can totally see costing $95. It is, I mean, it's a work of art. It is gorgeous. The shadows are very, very average. Okay, I'm not blown away. I don't think that they blend like butter. I don't get an excessive amount of fallout at all. They are pretty. They're a little bit more on the sheer side, I would say. Not super pigmented, which sometimes isn't a bad thing because it makes your makeup a little bit easier to apply, like softer. There's not as much of a risk of screwing it up, you know what I'm saying? But I just having had so many different eyeshadow palettes, this doesn't compare to Natasha Denona, for example. Okay, it's not as good as that. It just isn't. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. Is it $95 good? In my opinion, no. Okay, the next one is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pencil in color 01 Deeper. So this is a dual-ended liquid eyeliner. It has a fine calligraphy tip and then a brush tip. And they say it gives precise, easy to create fluid strokes. It's also free of sulfates, parabens, and fragrance. So let's start with the wing itself. And then what I like to do is look straight in the mirror and open my eyes. Now, this is my hood and it's falling over here, right? So what I like to do is create a straight line into the hood. And then I actually connect it down like this. So that when I open, it doesn't get weird. Then we just fill this in. Then once you have your wing, you can go along your lash line. That's how it looks with my eye open. That's how it looks with my eye down. You guys have not seen me with a liner in this graphic. It is a whole vibe, isn't it? For my blush today, I am using Giorgio Armani.
It's the shade 51. Like I said, this was £39, which is a very expensive blush. Let's give it a try. From swatching it in the store, it didn't seem that pigmented, so I've dipped in quite a lot there. And let's see what this looks like on the cheeks. It does look like it has a little bit of glow in it, but like a soft glow, not a Sabrina Carpenter glow. So I think there's something else. There is definitely a bit of glow in that. The other one, which was shade 52, which also was used on Sabrina quite a lot, was even brighter. And I didn't get that one because I was like, I would never use that. I do want to top this with some of the other liquid glow to make it even more highlighted.
This one's shade 52. It is very bright. It's like hot, hot, hot pink.
Nicely, like it's going on super smooth, which is nice. Personally, just going off my first impressions, I probably wouldn't repurchase this just because for a £39 blush, I want it to blow me away. And I mean, it is beautiful, but I feel like I have drugstore blushes that can do the same kind of thing.
I definitely know what she's saying, and I'm not gonna lie, when I got this, so this is the only thing that I got in PR that I didn't buy. When I first got this, I tried it and I was like very, very, very unimpressed, like disillusioned by it almost, because this does cost, okay, if you guys wanna know how much this costs when it's not in pounds, this costs $56 Canadian, 39 USD, which is quite expensive for a teeny tiny little blush. Now the packaging is very nice. It's not anywhere near as nice as like, you know, the super high-end stuff like this, or even this ridiculously overpriced Vaseline. I mean, I didn't say that, I said it. But I was very unimpressed, but I'm not gonna lie, I had never used this shade. This shade is magic. It almost has, can you guys see? It has a bit of like gold and pink to it. I don't know. I think this one is worth the money because it has a very unique color story, especially shade 50. Shade 50 has a very unique color story. It has a bit of a golden shimmer to it amidst a pink, which is quite an interesting combination actually. And they both show. You can really see the gold and the pink at the same time, and it's very velvety. That's gorgeous. Whoops. Hermes. I've never owned anything by Hermes. Let's see what they say about this. This is an $88 mascara Canadian, $68 US. So they say it has an innovative wand for precise lash definition, volumizing dense and thick looking lashes, gentle formula suitable for sensitive eyes, long lasting, doesn't flake or transfer to the eyelids.
To test my new Hermes makeup, got mascara and a lip oil. I think I'm gonna start with mascara. First, I'm going to curl and brush my eyelashes. I've got nothing on them right now. I have a very straight lashes. I curl them a couple of times a day so they would be more open, and almost nothing works for my eyelashes. Whenever I apply mascara, they just fall. I've already tested this mascara.
Me too. I can relate to this girl completely. My lashes are very straight, so as soon as I apply mascara to them, after I curl them, they immediately fall because the weight of the mascara drops them again. So I totally, yes. Okay, what do you think? What do you think?
When I was in store and I spent a day, my curl did hold, which is phenomenal for me and why this mascara really caught my eye. Here is mascara on. I like how it has this natural everyday effect. It doesn't even read on camera that I have a mascara right now. The lashes don't fall because they usually just, the second I apply my mascara, they fall down. And this curl stays, makes me look away myself a little bit better. So just like how it doesn't read on camera that I even have a mascara. I would definitely recommend this mascara for everyday or lashes, but better.
I'm confused. Why would it be good that it doesn't read on camera that you have mascara? What? $88, you want it to look like you have mascara on. Are you freaking kidding me? I don't get it. If you want to look like you don't have mascara on, don't put mascara on. I actually like it. I like these tiny little ones a lot better than really big, thick, blobby ones. Formula itself is definitely nice. Is it holding my curl? Not more than any other mascara, I would say. It looks very similar to how any mascara looks, except I do like the wand and I do think the packaging's really beautiful. The next product I want to show you is the most beautiful lipstick I have ever seen. It stopped me dead in my tracks at Holt Renfrew, okay? It stopped me dead in my tracks. I was like, what is that? And then I even asked the girl, I'm like, can I get this packaging but a different color? She's like, no. This is the packaging that comes with this color. This color is Mildred Rosewood, and it is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. So this is by Gucci. It's a sheer finish lipstick, completely different than the Valentino one. Valentino was a luminous matte. This is sheer finish, so this is very glossy. It's very lightweight, and they say specifically on the website, inspired by vintage makeup. Its packaging interweaves house motifs with contemporary codes, making a feminine statement with a pink rosebud print on ivory with a gold base, as if it came from a 1940s dressing table. Music to my ears. I love vintage everything. So let's see how this formula is, okay? Oh, this is pretty. This is that lip stain look, you know, where it's that little sheer wash of red. That's not red, because it's so beautifully sheer. It feels like a berry gloss, but not sticky, like a berry balm. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous everyday lip color. If you like a flushed lip. Oh my gosh, I liked the Valentino one. I think I like this one better. Chanel, the Baume Essential. Do you guys remember this? This is an oldie, but a goodie. This is a gloss that you can use on your cheeks, on your lips, on your eyes. I don't recommend it for your eyes. I've had this forever and I've used it on every bride for the last 5 years. They love it, I love it. It's literally a gloss for your face. It will crease like crazy on your eyelids, but it is beautiful on your cheeks. I feel like I have so much glow right now because the foundation is glowy. This cheek blush, right? The Armani Luminous Silk Blush is actually quite glowy. But if you apply this, you see the reflection that it gives you in the light. It's just a very pretty skin gloss. I love using it on the cheekbones of my brides because when they're taking pictures with their husbands kissing and it's profile like this and they're kissing, it illuminates. See how it illuminates the cheekbone here? Really pretty. Let me tell you how much this bad boy costs. This is 64 Canadian, 48 American. It is something that you can use on special occasions or every day though. You know, even if you don't have any makeup on at all and you pop on a little cream blush, right? And you put this on top, it really does illuminate and look very pretty. Again, you can use it on your lips as well. I'm not gonna do that here because this is already glossy. The only place that I don't think it really works where it says it works is the eyelid because it will crease too much. And here is the finished look in studio lighting. And here is the finished look in natural light. For each product, let me know in the comments if it's a yes or if it's a hell's no. This video's over.